I got a new chair. It's spinny. What's going on, y'all? THEBrandonBrownson here, and welcome to Game of Threes. Since this is the first episode, let me explain what this show is. I've had a lot of people request that I watch a lot of TV shows, and that list has gotten pretty big. I've noticed that if I don't like a TV show within the first 3 episodes, there's a good chance I'm not gonna like it. So I thought, why not make a new show out of that concept? Game of Threes is where I watch the first 3 episodes of a television show, review it, and decide whether I find it watchable or wasted. If I like a show enough, I might even do a second Game of Threes on it and review the whole series, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. For the first episode, I thought I'd do a show that a lot of my friends are really into, and one I already kind of like. Gravity Falls. For those of you who don't know, I'm a babysitter, and the kid who I watch is super into the Disney Channel. Realistically, I can do an episode for every show that's out on the Disney Channel right now, but Gravity Falls is one of the ones I like most. I've watched a few episodes here and there out of order, and I've always meant to give the show an honest chance, so I did just that. Plus, I've had a ton of theoretic requests for the show, so I thought it might not be a bad idea to give it a watch. Now, before I start, I just want to say a few things. First of all, these are just my opinions. I might not like a TV show that you're really fond of. You might not like a TV show that I'm really fond of, and that's okay. I'll happily debate with you in the comment section and hear out your arguments, but please, don't be a dick about it. I really don't want to have to block people over this show because it's something as silly as television, but I'll do it. Second, there may or may not be spoilers, so if you haven't seen the first 3 episodes of Gravity Falls, please, go watch them. Or if you don't care about spoilers, keep watching, whatever. With that said, let's jump right into the review. Right off the bat, I just want to say that I love this show. Everything about it is awesome. I love the characters, I love the animation style, I love the music, the plots, the themes of the episode. Everything about this show is awesome. And I'm kind of jealous of the kids who get to grow up watching this show. I feel like we're entering a new golden age of cartoons with shows like Gravity Falls, Adventure Time, and the 2 Avatar shows. And this is definitely the best show that the Disney Channel has going right now. With that out of the way, let's go into my thoughts on the specific episodes. The first episode is Tourist Trapped, and I feel like it was a really good introduction to the series. We get introduced to Dipper, a curious young boy who wants to discover the secrets of Gravity Falls, his silly twin sister Mabel, the swindling great uncle aka Grunkle Stan, and to an extent Zeus and Wendy, though we get a little more acquainted with them later. Dipper finds the journal that serves as the guidebook to the strangeness of Gravity Falls. We're introduced to Mabel's urge to find the boyfriend, something that gets Dipper and Mabel in trouble more times than not, and we get a fun villain in the gnomes. The show doesn't try to shove too much in your face in the first episode, introducing new characters and concepts as it goes on, and it got a few really good laughs out of me. Plus, toward the end of the episode, we find out there may be more to Grunkle Stan than we thought, without the show blowing its load on that angle too quickly. Next off, we have The Legend of the Gobblewalker. Right off the bat, I love how this episode introduces Gideon, a villain in a later episode, in a really subtle way. It makes me wonder if other episodes have done something like that, and it makes me want to rewatch the first few episodes to see if I missed anything. Anyway, in this episode, Stan takes the kids fishing, but the kids decide to go looking for a lake monster. This episode introduces Old Man McGucket, who's probably my favorite character in the whole series. He's the crazy old man of the town, and he's just a blast to watch. This episode again doesn't try to shove too much down your throat. It explores more of the kind of person that Grunkle Stan is, and toward the end it shows that Stan and the twins really do care about each other. I'm not going to spoil the ending of this episode because I thought it was a really good, really funny twist, but let's just say this is one worth watching from start to finish. Last for this episode, we have Headhunters. In this episode, Sue stumbles across a boarded up part of the house that once hosted a wax museum. Mabel turns a melted wax figure of Abraham Lincoln into a glittery version of Grunkle Stan, but the wax Stan has its head chopped off. The rest of the episode is a whodunit with a healthy dose of paranormal hijinks. This episode introduces Dipper's detective side, which is something that definitely plays a role in later episodes. This episode also does a really good job of having an interesting twist, which is something that all 3 episodes have done so far.
From here on out in the series, we get introduced to new characters, we develop some of the other ones like Seuss and Wendy, Mabel gets a pig, we find out more about Grunkle Stan, who turns out to be a mysterious character, and we're introduced to some pretty memorable baddies of the week and some really good stories. The show gets a little dark from time to time, and I can easily imagine myself getting scared as a young kid watching it, but it's never too intense, keeping a funny, lighthearted vibe throughout all of it. This is probably my favorite cartoon since Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, and I'll definitely be watching more of it in the near future.
Gravity Falls is not only watchable, but it's something that I'd strongly suggest if you're into mystery, paranormal stuff, or just a fan of kid-friendly humor. Be sure to check out all those sexy links in the description, but hey, most importantly, remember to like, comment, subscribe. TheBrandonBrownson, signing out.